Welcome back to the Automation Testing Foundation course. It's time to introduce our testing automation solution, the UiPath Test Suite. It was built to cover the entire test process, going from planning and designing to implementing, executing, and analyzing the test outcomes. As you'll see, the solution consists of several components, and each component addresses specific needs. Test Manager is for managing the tests. Studio Pro is for automating them. Orchestrator for their distribution, and robots for executing the tests. The solution as a whole is meant to serve two main purposes: software testing and RPA testing. Let's now look at each of the components. We'll start with the Test Manager. As its name proposes, its main use relates to the management of all your testing efforts. This includes defining the requirements that you want to cover during testing, writing and executing manual test cases, linking automated test cases to requirements, as well as monitoring and analyzing test results. While the Test Manager offers you the possibility to define the requirements that you want to cover during testing, we know that in most cases, those requirements might already be available in a different system, for example, in Jira as user stories. It's exactly why the Test Manager Hub will let you import those requirements from external systems via specific connectors. This way, you'll be able to integrate testing seamlessly into your existing development process and synchronize requirements from third-party tools with your test execution results. Let's now move on to UiPath Studio Pro, our new enterprise automation tool. This is basically the IDE for creating automated test cases and debugging them locally. If you're already familiar with UiPath Studio, you must know that Studio Pro incorporates all of the capabilities of Studio and adds the automated testing building capabilities on top. You can run your test cases locally with Studio Pro as you build them. At some point, though, you might want to manage them from a single place and run them in parallel on a number of machines. This is done through UiPath Orchestrator, a web-based application available on-premises and in cloud, built for orchestrating the execution of your tests. Orchestrator comes with several new sections in the interface. Test cases. As soon as you publish test cases from Studio Pro to Orchestrator, they'll appear in the Test Cases section. This is your inventory of all test cases and versions available for testing right now. Test Sets. Within this section, you'll be able to group together your test cases of different projects and version to test sets for the purpose of running them together. Test Execution. As soon as you trigger the execution of a test set, you'll be able to monitor the progress within the Test Execution section. Test Schedules. Depending on your development practices, there might be several different ways that you want to run your tests. Probably, you have a small set of automated smoke tests that should be run with every code check-in as part of your build pipeline. Or maybe you have a set of integration and end-to-end tests that should be run at certain occasions, either scheduled or triggered manually. Orchestrator covers all of those scenarios. Via our Jenkins plugin, you can kick off the execution of specific test sets as part of your build pipeline. Within the Test Sets section, you can manually trigger the test execution at any time. And via the Test Schedule section, you're able to schedule testing at certain times. Last but not least, robots are UiPath's execution agents. They're connected to Orchestrator. This enables you to run test cases with specific robots or groups of robots using different machine setups. Alright, we're at the end of our brief tour of the UiPath Test Suite. In the following lessons, we'll dive into each of the components and use them to tackle real business scenarios related to software testing. So, stay tuned.